Good morning and welcome to Inside Tennessee. I hope you're having a dry and safe morning as we watch the spillover effects from the hurricane coming our way. I'm John North. John Becker is away on assignment. We have two gentlemen who are wanting to be in the Tennessee Senate, specifically for District 7, which is a Knoxville district. We have the Republican Richard Briggs, a doctor who is an incumbent, and we have his challenger Bryan Langan, who is a Democrat. Gentlemen, good morning. Hope you're doing well.
Good morning.
Good morning. Appreciate it.
Thanks for being on. So let's just jump right in. I'll start with the incumbent. Dr. Briggs, this would be, I guess, what you're seeking your third term, is that right? The 4-year term? If you don't mind, sir, just tell us why you haven't gotten so sick of the place that you're ready to stay in there.
Well, you know, we've really had a lot of exciting things happen in Tennessee in the last 8 years that I've been in the Senate. We've made tremendous progress in education. It's hard to believe that just a few years ago, Tennessee was right at the very bottom, 49th in the state. We've moved up to 31. 31st is not good enough. We need to be better than slightly below average. We've had a tremendous number of businesses and jobs come into Tennessee, in particular with the Ford Blue Oval City that's coming into West Tennessee is going to be absolutely transformational for a very poor part of our state where we have a lot of citizens that don't make a lot of money. We have had other businesses and industry that have come in my 8 years. LG, which is a appliance company, has their only North American factory in Clarksville, Indiana. We've been able to cut taxes. We have one of the largest reserves per capita in the country. For a state our size. And there's just a lot of good things happening right now. I enjoy the people I work with, and I think we're serving the citizens of Tennessee and particularly of Knox County very well.
Thank you, Dr. Briggs. Mr. Langan, let's hear from you. What has spurred your interest in running for a state Senate seat here?
Well, I moved to Tennessee in 2000, and honestly, over the last decade of really when GOP has had complete control of our state legislature, all three branches, or of our state government, all three branches, I have kind of seen the bills that are getting passed and the attacks on our teachers, our librarians, our healthcare workers, our LGBTQ communities, our homeless, and really the selling out to profit and corporations when it comes to our environment and these sorts of things. And I do not like the direction that our state is going and that our legislation is taking our state. So I decided to kind of get involved. One thing led to another, and here I am running. I mean, this isn't my background. I graduated from UT, but I worked in kitchens and food service. I've worked in water treatment, and I've been a plumber. I mean, so this is just me being a Tennessee dad trying to get involved and make a change to help the people in the state of Tennessee.
Let's talk about some of the specifics that you just raised, and then we can hear from Dr. Briggs. You're talking about some cultural things. It sounded like, I think I heard you say something about like library books in schools. Was that one issue?
Well, attacking our librarians, wanting to ban books, attacking our teachers and saying that our public schools are indoctrinating students. And then even going down to the level of how much more state control and rescinding of local control that has been passed when it comes to things like our schools, like the state charter school board that Mr. Briggs voted for that can our charter commission that can overrule our local school boards. And there's multiple instances of those votes where they seem to have chosen corporations and special interests over the will and really the benefit of the people and our state. So I can go into a few more things if you want me to, but I'm sure I will continue to talk about this as we go through this.
Well, that's fine. Let's hear from Dr. Briggs. Dr. Briggs, specifically some of those things he's talking about, which maybe some would say are kind of cultural as opposed to, a specific merit or goal oriented. I'm just curious about your thoughts about that.
Well, it's true there are some cultural issues that he brought up. But again, to get back to why I ran in the first place, why I want to continue to serve are really what I would call kitchen table issues. I mean, what are average families in Tennessee concerned about? They're concerned about, are they going to have a job? And part of what we have for a well-paying job, and what I would like to see, is for every Tennessean to be able to have the educational background, and we could bring jobs into Tennessee where they can afford a home, where their kids can go to good schools, they can feel safe in their neighborhoods, in other words, law and order issues. And of course, as you know, I've been very active in the healthcare issue in our state. I have been the supporter for the past 8 years of the Insure Tennessee, so every Tennessean can have health care. I want Tennesseans to have jobs with retirement benefits, a decent salary, health benefits as part of their job. And these are the things that I think are really important to Tennesseans. It's the future of their kids, it's having a job, being able to make their payments, being able to be assured of having a good retirement, and if unfortunately they get sick, they'll be able to be taken care of without having huge health bills that lead to about 50% of the bankruptcies in this country.
And Dr. Briggs, those are things I think probably some of our viewers at least are welcoming hearing them, but what are specific things that you as a state senator or that the Tennessee legislature can do to help improve that?
Well, I think one of the biggest things that we can do, and if you look at all the problems we have, whether it's joblessness, whether it's mental health, whether it's homelessness, whether it's insufficient funding of our schools, most of those problems can be taken care of with us having a positive business environment in the state where these companies, I know there's people that don't like the high-paying jobs to come into the country. They don't like the corporate jobs, but these are the jobs that have benefits, that have health benefits, retirement benefits, and pay good salaries. I think the most important thing that we can do is to have a positive business atmosphere in this state where companies want to relocate here, that we want to have startups here to make it easy for even small mom and pop businesses to do business in the state. We know that 40% of the jobs in the state are small businesses. It doesn't all have to be large business. And if we can take care of those problems where people can get the training and education so they can get a well-paying job and then have those jobs available, so when our kids graduate from high school or they graduate from a technical school or they graduate from the University of Tennessee, they don't have to leave and go to another state to work. They can stay here and raise their children in a safe neighborhood. I think that's what people are very interested in.
We're going to need to take a break right now, but I want to hear from Bryan Langan when we come back. You're watching Inside Tennessee, and we will be back shortly.